everybody, and welcome to the Hut. Today we're discussing Halloween Horror Nights 31, about whether they'll toss the properties aside and get completely new ones, or if they'll keep the same event lineup for next year. Now before we get started, this is a new channel, so any support you feel comfortable giving would be greatly appreciated, such as subscribing, liking, and commenting, so that way this channel can grow and I can just provide overall better content. So without further ado, let's jump right into today's topic. So, Halloween Horror Nights 30 has been officially canceled, and we've all known that, and it's really sad news. But right now, Halloween Horror Nights 31, as of now, knock on wood, is a no-brainer, because I think by this time next year, even if there has to be CDC guidelines still in place, that's worst case scenario, we're still doing a whole other year of this, it's still going to happen because there's no way it'll be as bad as it is right now. So I would say 99.9% sure it's happening next year. But the question a lot of people are asking are, are they keeping the same properties? Are they keeping the same originals? Like, are they just going to toss everything aside? And I thought I'd just make a video to kind of address that and just talk about it with everyone. So before I start talking about that, leave a comment, like what you think. Do you think they're going to keep the same properties, or do you think they're going to toss them all out? I'd like to hear what you guys think. Now, my personal opinion is that I think it's going to be a little bit of a mix of both. The speculation map, which I'll put up right here, had a lot of IPs that I think have a strong potential to return next year. And I think all the originals will return next year. So starting with the originals on a positive note, Halloween Horror Nights has all the rights to their originals. Obviously, there's no rights to have. They just come up with it. So there's really no reason they wouldn't keep the same originals unless they just wanted a palette cleanser for everything. The only reason that they wouldn't have originals would be if they're releasing merchandise with the Pumpkin Lord on it, and all the icons. So maybe that's a way of just like, here's what was going to happen. We're just going to do something different next year, so we're trying to get rid of this merch. I don't think that's the case. I think they're going to keep the originals. Since they're already at a financial loss right now, it would just put more burdens financially for Universal, because they already have all the props bought. They already have everything set up. Some of the houses are probably completely built by now. Definitely built by now, because it's, August. So I think the originals in the tents are 100% going to stay up. Especially the tents are only really used for Halloween Horror Nights. The only ones that could have a chance of being changed would be the originals and the sound stages, since they do sometimes film shows or movies there. But if anything, I think worst case scenario, they take down the props and just put them back up in March when they're ready to start building again, or whenever that month is. As they've already spent the money to get all the props, so I wouldn't see why they would just completely ditch all the original ideas. Next is the IPs. This is where things get a little trickier. I think the safe ones for sure are Beetlejuice, Universal Monsters, Hill House, and I believe that's it, the for sure safe ones. So my reasoning, Hill House is with Netflix, Stranger Things, Netflix. What more do I gotta say? They have a great relationship with Netflix. I think Hill House will be fine, and the new season's coming out this year though, so that could be the only thing. I don't think it'll be a rights issue. I think it'll be more of a, maybe they just want something new at the event. They're like, let's wait. And then Universal Monsters, The Brides, I think they'll definitely keep. Although I do have a little bit of speculation. Since the tribute store had Frankenstein's lab in it, since Hollywood got Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman the year before we got Universal Monsters, if they were making The Brides, even plural, why would it just be Frankenstein's lab? So I feel like Orlando might be getting Frankenstein versus the Wolfman, and they just decided to do Frankenstein's lab. But also the Bride of Frankenstein was made in a lab, so it could be that, but it's very clearly Frankenstein's lab. It's not like there's any bride stuff, but they could have taken it down. But that's just my speculation for that. I'm not really sure, but I honestly think we could get Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. But overall, I think we're getting some sort of Frankenstein property. And lastly, Beetlejuice. They already have the theme park rights to the character. He's out in the streets every day. They have the show. I think Beetlejuice is fine. The only ones I'm concerned about are Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Billie Eilish. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, again, I don't think it's going to be a rights issue. I truly think they're just going to switch it out to have a fresh perspective on it. And if you've been watching some of my past videos, you'll know I was really excited about the Texas Chainsaw one, as I went to Halloween Horror Nights 26 and I had a really bad run through, but this was my third year going, so I was still only going one night a year. Wasn't until the next year that I started going more than one night. So I kind of wanted a redo for that, but it's all right. I'm sure there'll be another great house to take its place. I've been speculating, I mean, since speculation started for Halloween Horror Nights 30 at the end of 29, that Halloween 2018 is coming to the event. And no one was speculating that. There was no speculation maps on it. I was like, all right, I guess maybe I'm wrong. I think if it wasn't this year, it's definitely going to be next year, because Halloween Kills has been delayed a year. And I think they'll either do the Halloween 2018 or do like what they did with the Blumhouse of Horrors that included Insidious, where they included the final movie at the very end. Or a better example, Saw. How they did all the Saw movies, and at the very end there was like one scene with Jigsaw in it, the new movie coming out. I think it'll be Halloween 2018, but there's a little bit of Halloween Kills at the end. So I think Halloween will replace Texas Chainsaw. And the Billie Eilish, the only thing is that Orlando's never really had a music property, like a musician, artist come to the event. Hollywood's great at that. And we just had Rob Zombie, The Scare Zone last year. I understand. But I guess I'm saying that new of an artist, and not sure how rights go. I'm not really in that field for like musicians. Like, how are we going to keep those rights? And since she's very new and in demand, is she going to be okay with that? So I don't know. That's the one that's kind of up in the air, since we don't have a lot of experience with music houses. So we'll see on Billie Eilish. I would assume they would keep it. But right now I'm putting that as I don't think so. I don't think that's coming. Lastly, I did want to touch up on the anniversary house and like the overall 30th anniversary year. I truly think they're going to keep the same 30th anniversary year, even though they're putting out the merch now, which I kind of wish they didn't, just as a personal opinion, because I don't, so they're kind of spoiling some things, like the Pumpkin Lord. But they're putting out merch now, but I think it's just because they're going to be at a financial loss this year. I don't think, not necessarily losing money, but I think just compared to previous years, they're struggling a bit right now. So I think they're just trying to get revenue rolling in. So I think it'll be the exact same next year with icons and everything. I couldn't imagine them changing that big of a theme. The only thing, there was a rumored Silence of the Lambs house, and they just put out a Silence of the Lambs pop figure. And they also put out a Creepshow pop figure. And that was a rumored Scare Zone, actually on HHN Nightmares speculation map. And Silence of the Lambs was not, but it was rumored for a bit. So I think those two have a chance of coming. It might replace Texas Chainsaw and Billie Eilish, if I'm wrong about the Halloween. But also at the same time, they also put out Ghostbusters pop figures and American Horror Story masks, and we know those aren't coming back because American Horror Story is Fox now, which is owned by Disney. And Ghostbusters was just there last year, and I couldn't see them bringing it back. It's not like they're going to do Ghostbusters 2. Although now I'm saying it now, they're probably going to do Ghostbusters 2, and I'll just look like really dumb right now. So we'll see. With that being said, I really do want to know what everyone thinks. Comment down below, what do you think about the event? If you haven't already, follow me on Twitter. It's at Theme Park Hut. Let's grow the hut. Honestly, I just would love to grow the channel, not just because I want more subscribers, but just because I truly enjoy doing this. And I love talking, and it's almost therapeutic in a way. You know, when Halloween Horror Nights is canceled and I can't go to the theme parks right now, it's really nice just talking about it. So I really just want to grow this channel so I can continue to make content for everyone. So with that being said, this has been another Theme Park Hut video, and let's hope it's not the last.